Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Wise Kracks featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackenberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Wise Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Wise Kracks. We are knee-deep in NFL playoffs. Bill Krackenberger, are you liking what you're seeing unfolding on the gridiron?
If you're a fan, John, if you're a fan of the game, sure. This was it's probably once in a lifetime here. We had 4 games end on the last play. I mean, that probably will never happen again in our lifetime. It was a big weekend for the sports books, big weekend for the fans. Probably not as big of a weekend for sports bettors, which they live in the moment and bet so much money. They overbet their bankrolls, no matter what you and I say or anyone says. It's inevitable. It's like I call that like my buddy was a big marketing guy at the Borgata in Atlantic City. He calls it the Borgata effect. When the Borgata opened up in Atlantic City, all the other casinos that were on the boardwalk, that's the normal action as a couple over in the marina. They had Trump Castle and they had Harris. But when the Borgata opened up, it was so opulent, so elegant, glass chandeliers and beautiful Dale Chihuly art and marble. And so you felt like you were in the best place in the country to gamble in.
Yeah.
It compelled you to gamble more. If you were a $10 blackjack bettor, well, in there you're going to be a $25 to $50 blackjack bettor. If you lose $200 playing slots, in there you're losing $500. You feel compelled to gamble more. That's what these playoffs do to you. You feel so compelled to gamble in the moment, the noise, the crowd, especially in a sports book. Forget it. Human nature takes over, and the human element of this is just sometimes it's so much pressure for people that until they get home at the end of the night and they say, "Wow, what did I just do to myself?" It could be very overwhelming for people. So I try to preach, the safe, responsible gambling, but it's very hard to do because you live in that moment a lot. So.
It's interesting that you say that about the casino. I never really thought about that, but I think you're absolutely right. Like the nicer the casino, when it's on a grand scale, it can make you go like above your normal threshold for losing, right? Like you'll
Oh, yeah.
What is that? Just the energy, the adrenaline rush you get from just an amazing property does that, right? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. And but it draws parallels to NFL playoffs and especially the Super Bowl. And especially what happened this weekend, the back and forth in the last game with the Kansas City game, which was one of the best that'll go down as one of the most exciting, best games we've ever had, one of them, especially a playoff game. Yeah,
we're definitely going to do a deeper dive on all those games. We've got a great guest today also, Bill. We've got Coach John Beam from Last Chance U on Netflix. He's the godfather of football in Oakland. So real excited to have Coach Beam on a little later. And we're going to talk a lot of football. But before we get to football, we must talk about baseball. The Hall of Fame voting went down yesterday, and it is official. Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, barring maybe some sort of commissioner overturning this at some point, they're not going to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, if they overturn that, they have to overturn Pete Rose first and get him in for his accomplishments on the field.
Agreed.
It's the same exact thing here. To be honest with you, I'm kind of frustrated. I did a episode of Mad Dog Radio last night, and I was talking to them guys about this, and it's frustrating, really, because there's so many guys that are in the hall that have dabbled in the steroids, but it's like almost they pick the people they want to be in. Big Papi, great guy, great inspirational guy, always happy, smile on his face. I love the guy. He's liked amongst baseball writers and baseball and even the Hall of Fame. He had his dabble in that also. These guys, they don't even think about it. There's so many people that are in the Hall that have dabbled in it. I mean, look at these guys. These two guys we're talking about, Bonds and Clemens.
Yeah.
these guys were good before they dabbled in it.
Of course.
I know someone that knew Roger Clemens very, very well. One of the reasons why Clemens admitted this to him, he was going to get a nice 27, which he did. He got a $27 million contract at the end of his life, probably because he was still pitching so well. And maybe the steroids had something to do with it, or the performance enhancing drugs had something to do with it. And it was a money decision for a lot of these guys' families too. But in the beginning of their careers, they were so good. I just think it's all politics, to be honest with you. It's kind of BS. Yeah,
I mean, Skinny Barry, right? Skinny Barry Bonds was absolutely the best player on the field at all times. Stealing bases, still hitting home runs, hitting for a high average. He was great, just like his dad was great, right? Same thing with Roger. 19-year-old Roger Clemens, 20-year-old Roger Clemens, skinny Roger Clemens was throwing 100 miles per hour, mowing people down, winning 20 games. It's a crazy conversation to me that they would leave them out of the Hall. And the Hall is supposed to be, it's the Hall of Fame. It's the historic record of the game. So if you need to put an asterisk by it, or you want to mention it, fine. You want to make it controversial and put them in, fine. But they belong in. They're a piece of baseball history, and the story needs to be told and recorded properly. That's how I feel about it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's go back to these football games this weekend, because, it's funny, John. People, they live in the moment and they just think about the Kansas City Buffalo game. Yeah. Think about the 3 previous games. Let's start on Saturday. The Tennessee game. I mean, Tennessee had the ball set up to win by 3 points almost at the 50-yard line. Tannehill throws an interception at the end. The Green Bay game. Green Bay, San Fran. Yeah. What an unbelievable game this was. This was looked like total domination at the beginning. As soon as Green Bay goes down the field, the first drive, and you say, oh, man, this is over. Well, that didn't happen as Green Bay. Did you watch the 4 games, John?
Yes. I couldn't believe it. I didn't realize until I saw the show notes that all 4 games ended on the last play. I knew they were exciting in my head, but I didn't really realize that every single game decided on the last play. I mean, I don't know if that's ever happened before.
Oh, yeah. No, it's you're never going to see that again, too. Yeah. It's amazing. So, the sports books absolutely cleaned up. Everyone had Tennessee. I've talked to a couple different sports book directors. One told me that they were writing 9-1 tickets on Green Bay. Every 9 tickets that was written on Green Bay, 1 was written on. Wow. It really is amazing. 9-1. So the sports books cleaned up, and one of our producers asked us, well, what about Sunday? I don't know how they did Sunday. They killed them on Sunday, too. They wrote 2-way action on especially the Kansas City game. The Kansas City game. Buffalo,
that was amazing.
There was 2-way action on that game. At first, it was really all week of people betting Buffalo, but right up to game time, the game was up to 2.5, dropped down to 1 at the key sports books that everyone copies off of, and went up to 2.5. By game time, the last 3 hours of the game was all Kansas City money. So they were equally balanced, and they made a fortune this weekend. And we have to remember weekends like this one, they cry a little bit. So
yeah, I feel
it was a fun weekend.
Yeah, I mean, with Kansas City, everyone had high hopes at the beginning of the year, as they always do. Then they didn't look that great. People were saying, Mahomes, he doesn't have it this year. Then they started to come alive the last few games of the season. This past Sunday, I mean, he really showed that quarterback, Super Bowl MVP type of caliber quarterback that he is. Don't you think? He really put it together. Yeah, he was a leader.
He did. I leaned to Buffalo for the game. I had the over first half, kind of got a little lucky there. I had under in the first half on the first game. I actually got a little bit lucky that, but that makes up for the times. And I've been so unlucky. Things have happened throughout the year and continued a great NFL season for myself. So I was real happy. Player props are great. And the games turned out okay for me. But my only fear with this is people just love to overbet because it's on, especially live wagering. People love to bet live now. It's a big thing catching on in the States. It's always been big over in Europe. But my thing is people should just bet during the commercials. Do not bet when that game's live. There's too much of a delay. You're talking up to 15 seconds of delay by the time your bet is accepted. And a live wagering only during the commercials. So something
that's an interesting piece of information there. That's good advice.
Yeah. Well, John, you got 7 to 10 second TV delay. you have another 5 seconds that some of the sports books put you in a spin mode, a queue where it approves your bet. Now I was noticing the DraftKings and FanDuel. I was really happy with how fast they were accepting bets on Sunday. So the live wagers. But I know there's a book out in Vegas that loves to put you on a big delay and find out what happens first and deny your bet if it's good for them, if it's bad for them, and take your bet if it's good for them. So I'm not being cynical, and I'm not saying no one's cheating, but I'm being cynical. Sorry.
Yeah. And then the Tampa Bay game, Tom Brady almost pulled it off again.
Yep.
That was a crazy game. As a Dodger fan and a Cowboy fan, the San Francisco fans like to make my life hell whenever they can. And, so it's been interesting, following the Niners and then the Rams. I told everybody, from the beginning of the year, Tom Brady, you can't bet against Tom Brady, and don't bet against my Cowboys. And both of those teams have been eliminated. And both sets of fans have let me know. Yeah, a lot.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I have a trivia question for you, John.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
That our producers wrote up here.
All right. What do you got?
Ready?
Yep.
With the Bengals winning last weekend, there are now only 5 franchises that have failed to make the conference championship game this century. So since year 2000. Yeah. Can you name them? By the way, I don't know if I can name them all.
That's tough.
I have them here. But
okay.
Yeah, no,
all right. Give me a minute here. Okay. The easiest one, I want to say the Jets. That's got to be correct, right? The Jets are terrible.
No. Hold on. That's funny. I actually said the Jets, and I guess I'm wrong.
They made it?
The Jets must have made it around 2000
with Brett Favre. Did Brett Favre get them there? No,
I don't think so. But they definitely have made So the Jets is not on the list.
Wow. Okay. No Jets.
It's one of the ones I picked.
Redskins.
Yep. You're not allowed to say that no more. Okay.
Oh, right. Sorry. The Washington football team.
I'm
getting canceled.
Culture you.
Damn it. Okay.
Go ahead.
The Washington football team. The Dolphins.
Dolphins are one. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. You're right.
Jacksonville.
No.
Okay. Jets?
One I'm shocked at.
Or not the Jets. Wow, the Jets are that seems crazy. How is it not the Jets?
Yeah, the Jets.
Detroit.
I'm surprised at this one.
Detroit.
Detroit is one of them.
Okay.
The next one I'm surprised at. You're probably not going to get this one.
So that's 3.
They have been fan favorites the last couple of years, this team, to win the Super Bowl, never mind getting. You
got the
Cleveland. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm surprised the dog pound.
That's 4. Okay, so Cleveland. Yeah. Let me just recap. Cleveland, Dolphins. I got them, right? Washington.
Yeah, you got them. Washington
and
Detroit.
The last one. Oh my God, I can't believe. Yeah, Crack. I know the last one.
Yeah, you should. I know. Close to your heart.
Yeah, I know the Dallas Cowboys have
America's
failed.
Pretty surprising because Dallas is such a storied franchise, but that was back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. But it's just an interesting thing our producers came up with here.
That is disgusting, really, when you think about it. That the Cowboys have not. Gotten that far.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Yeah. That's terrible. Whoever came up with that question needs to go away, Bill. That's mean. Mean-spirited.
This weekend we have Bengals at Chiefs. Chiefs are a 7-point favorite. It's funny. People live in that moment and only think about that last game, what they've seen. The Chiefs in the look-ahead line, which I noticed at DraftKings and FanDuel, before these games started last weekend, the Chiefs were 6.5 over the Bengals. And immediately that did not happen because people lived in the moment and laid the points right away. And it went right up to 7. Even some 7.5s popped up out there. I think it'll stay around 7. It's not going down any. If anything, it'll go up a little bit. This is a game that, it's unusual to see a 7.5 point favorite here in, AFC, NFC championship week. So that should be a fun game. And I'm looking forward to watching these games. I actually love watching when it's for real here. Niners at Rams, 3.5. Rams 3.5. People still doubting the Niners. So the battle of the California coast there. We'll see what happens, and I'm sure you're going to be involved with these, not only from a spectator standpoint, but from a gambling standpoint.
Yeah, for sure. You know, the Niners, I need them to go away. I need the Rams to beat the Niners. I'm not even a Rams fan necessarily. I was back in the Marshall Faulk, St. Louis Rams days. Bill, we mentioned the Rams. I don't know if you saw this. I saw this on Instagram or TikTok or something. Travis has a clip he's going to play. Did you know that there is a guy assigned to the Rams head coach? His only job is to keep him from bumping and to move him out of the way. Look at this. You see that? This guy's that's his job, is just to make sure he doesn't get hit by referees or players.
Unbelievable. So there is you have a future if this little broadcast thing doesn't work.
What would you call that job? A coach wrangler? I don't know what that. What is that position? And think of the guys that didn't get the gig, right? the guys that auditioned for that. They're like, sorry, we can't go with you. You're not qualified. I don't know. I just thought that was funny. I wanted you to see that.
That's cute. That's cute. What about this betting competition you're in?
So yeah, Bill. So I'm in a competition called Best Better. They got a bunch of celebrities. Somehow they took me. I don't know. They need to raise the bar. I don't know how I fit the profile for that. But they listed there's a pro poker player, Tiffany Michelle, who I actually know, who is competing in this, and some other fine people that apparently are way better than me when it comes to picking, because they put odds to win it all for everyone. I'm plus. I'm embarrassed to tell you, Bill. I'm plus 480. I'm plus 485 to win this thing. Do you have any faith in me, Bill? Do you have any faith? Can I do it?
I need to know. I need to know the other people. Is there who's the favorite or one of the favorites? Who else in there with?
The favorite is a girl.
A girl.
Yes,
nice.
yes. No disrespect. Yeah, she's a very popular Twitch streamer, and apparently she's, I think, plus 2 something. I think I'm the longest shot on the board, actually, at plus 485. Picking football games, basketball. I'm not even sure how long this contest goes. I want to say 6 weeks, maybe. And I don't know. I want to win this thing. We all start with $1,000 bankroll, and you can't bet more than 50% of your bankroll in week 1, and then 25% of your bankroll in week 2. And so Bridget Case is, I think, the favorite. Yeah, she's plus 230.
Okay.
Yeah, you got David Tuckman is plus 230 also, so they're neck and neck. You got Bob Guinea, who's plus 400. Tiffany Michelle, my friend, plus 455. I can't even believe Tiffany Michelle is a favorite over me. This is so insulting, Crack. But do you have any faith? Do you have any faith in the parlay king? No,
I would.
Nothing.
I actually, because of this type of competition, $1,000 bankroll. Yeah, I would pick the long shot. So I'm picking you. There you go.
Let me ask you this, strategy man. So should I bet really conservative and let them kind of no? Oh, really? I thought you were going to say yes.
It's not like a single table poker table where you're kind of a conservative.
So come out swinging.
Yeah, come out swinging.
Like if I can bet 50% of my bankroll in week 1, I should actually do that.
Yeah, you should bet something that's a money line dog too. Don't go with something that you're going to win back even money.
I hope I don't get disqualified, as this might classify as professional coaching. But I didn't see anything that means I can't do that or not. I don't know. So speaking of words of wisdom from the Crack Man, as he will hopefully guide me through this competition. I don't even know what we win at the end. I think we get a steak breakfast at Denny's or something. I don't know. But anyway, if you want, listen, this is, to me, I know you have your personal times of year that you think is your sweet spot. For me personally, this is the most fun time to be a Crack Wins user because Super Bowl parlay is prop bets is right around the corner, and I am here to endorse Bill Krackomberger as nobody is better when it comes to Super Bowl prop bets. He finds out all of the information, whether it's the song that's going to be sang at the Super Bowl halftime show, the color of the Gatorade. This guy gets it, and he gets the information on the team side of things. I don't know how he does it, but he seems to do it. Make sure you download the Crackwins app. It's on Apple. It's on Google Play. Go to crackwins.com and get in the winner's circle. How's that for a little, plug for you?
Little plug.
Crack?
Yeah, no, we're doing great. We've had an unbelievable 65% season in the NFL. I hate even saying that word because, it's a benchmark that probably can't be eclipsed by too many, including myself again. That's just amazing. We've done great on player props, on totals, first half totals, correlated parlays, teasers. We had an unbelievable season, and it's really amazing because I'm always telling people how hard it is to be the NFL, meaning NFL sides,
right?
Which we don't do. We really don't do. Maybe 1 or 2 a year. It has been really an unbelievable season again. College basketball, but here we are a couple weeks away from player prop land. We're going to have a lot of props given out, and that's one of my cash cow time of the years that. I enjoy betting. I enjoy betting these props. I enjoy these next couple of weeks. So be sure to download the Crackwins app or crackwins.com and get on with us. There we go.
Do it, people. And also, after you do that, head on over to WSN.com. They've got bonuses for New York State, Caesars, DraftKings, FanDuel in New York, and Caesars. They all have crazy bonuses, right, Crack?
I'm on their site right now. Again, I looked at it ahead of time. Bonuses are fantastic. They're second to none. They have negotiated some great bonuses for you guys. WSN.com. You go over there. On the left-hand portion of the website, there's the state guide. You click on your state. You can open up the bonuses. That's the big thing for me. I love that they have. Once you get the bonuses too, they're going to email you other bonuses and dangle other carrots for you. So it's really good just to instead of just going to the sports book on your own. I'm telling you, you get better bonuses on WSN. So also the latest prediction and odds. This site's amazing for information. They are so full of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They put 9 articles up in 2 days here. They have so many articles, so many different things on sports betting and industry news. Sports betting news. There is some talk here. This DraftKings and Barstool are pushing Florida sports betting measures. That's also, there's an article on that. There's an article on the handle of how much money these states are making in tax dollars. Maine, there's an article about Maine sports betting. There's articles about they're actually talking about Florida as being the next big state. So it'll be Florida, Texas, of course, California, but Florida's the big one. We're looking right now to get Florida legalized, and there's a lot of people that have sports betting in their blood in Florida. So great site. Head over to WSN.com, not only for the great articles, but make sure you get those bonuses, guys. And you can watch all our podcasts too on there.
All right, Crack, we're very excited to welcome our guest today. He's a Hall of Fame coach who has been coaching for over 40 years. At Skyline High, he won 15 league championships, 11 section championships, and had 4 undefeated seasons. That's amazing. He became Laney College's head coach in 2012, and he and his Eagles are featured on Season 5 of the Smash Netflix show, Last Chance U. Please welcome the godfather of football in Oakland, Coach John Beam, to Wise Kracks. And Crack, just when you thought Tony Orlando, my father, had a great mustache, enter John Beam. Look at that stash.
Hey, Coach. How are you doing?
I'm great, brother. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming on with us. Yeah, John, if you didn't know, John's dad is the legendary Tony Orlando. I don't know if you're old enough, Coach, to know
He's not. He's not old enough. He has to ask the parents.
Where we at, Tony Orlando? Where's Don?
There you go.
Right.
All right.
Hey, yeah.
I love it.
Good.
Well, Coach, it's great to have you on. We love the show and the message that it sends. You've obviously been coaching football for a long time. When you were approached to be on Last Chance U, what were your thoughts? Because a lot of people would shy away from TV or reality TV or even just documentary style stuff. Was that an easy yes for you, or did you have to think about it?
think it was a hell no to start with. One of the things I do is I do everything with my family, right? So I get the email, and even before we even started the conversation, I talked with my family. So we were actually all flying out to go to Denver to see some family, and we were at the airport, and I would get it. And I look at my wife, and she goes, "Oh, no, I don't think so." My oldest daughter, Monica, goes, "Oh, hell no, Daddy, you can't do that." My youngest daughter, Sonia's like, "Daddy, you got to do it, man. You got to do it." So, we were kind of in a split. And then I came back here to Laney, and I talked to the people I'm closest to here. And on the coach's side, they were all like, "Coach, you got to do it. We got to do it. We got to do it." And my assistant's like, "Well, Beamer, I don't know. Do you want to do it or not?" And then talking with the Last Chance U people, we decided that it was a good way to kind of show what California junior college is all about, right? The real struggle, right? When you're at East Mississippi or Kansas, you got scholarships, you got dorms. I wanted them to see what the real struggle is, where kids are really coming out the mud, right? They got to pay rent. They got to work. They got to, they got kids of their own, right? They got mental health issues. All the different things that get glossed over in life that is really a real day-to-day thing here in a city like Oakland, right? Or many cities, right? Where the educational system has marginalized young men and young women of color, right? And so I thought it was a great example for us to show that. And so who better than I thought myself and, my staff and the people around me to show that you can be embedded in a community, win, but win off the field, which is more important than winning on the field, right? So I thought it was a good way to maybe show the world what we had going on here in Oakland.
That's great.
That's great. Coach, really inspiring show, and really your career, very inspiring that you've had. I read a quote somewhere that it actually said that you weren't a huge fan of the name Last Chance U, and you really thought it was more of as your first chance or your best chance. Talk about that a bit. What were you thinking?
Well, for Last Chance, remember, again, it started out in East Mississippi, right? The first premise was all these kids that had been bounced from Division I, right? So they needed this last chance to get back, right? But out here at Laney, we take kids that never even got a sniff at Division I, right? Their grades weren't right. They weren't big enough. They were too big, whatever, right? So that's why we use the term Laney build. We're going to take you and build you so you can be a college athlete, a college student athlete. And so we said, hey, we're not your last chance. We're your first chance. We're your best chance. Let's get this done, right? And so we did. And I've done it, right? I've done it for 40 years, 42 years to be exact, right? I mean, I have a 90% plus graduation transfer rate. Right. I mean, that's in a community that, like I said, the educational system has marginalized people of color. Right. It's disproportionately been a failure. Right. And I'm getting people degrees, and I'm getting them into colleges, right, where they can come back and, give back to the community in a meaningful way.
Wow. That's great. That's great. It must feel so internally good going home at night when you're head on a pillow thinking that you're changing people's lives. That's great, Coach. You've had over 100 players go on to D1 programs and 20 in the NFL. I know you've had opportunities yourself to quote unquote to go to greener pastures. So tell us what keeps you at Laney. What keeps you excited every day? What keeps you these students, these kids? I mean, that's a great sacrifice you're making.
I think those are all great. But remember, when I started, right, you were leaving to go coach, even at Division I. They didn't pay like it's paying now. Oh my God, they're paying, 3-year deals, $800,000-$900,000. A good friend of mine just got a giant contract at LSU. And so it's different. But the thing is this, right? Is it really a greener pasture? And then the stress of it all, right? You're there to win, and you're keep your job. You are evaluated on your wins and losses, and that's right. I'm evaluated on my wins and losses, but it's wins and losses in life, right? That's a lot better. Now, fortunately, I've won a lot of games, and we were the number one team in the country. We were the state champs, right? I've been undefeated teams. But really, like the other day, I was out here. We have a track program at night for the kids in the community. One of my former players is right there, right? He's there. He's brought his 7-year-old daughter. I get to reconnect, right? We provide this opportunity. I always like to say that Lenny provides hope and opportunity. And that's the key, right? So I get to, every day, I'm not making $700,000, $800,000, but when I walk around the city, I feel like a millionaire, right? Because people thank me out of the blue, like, hey, thanks for this. I don't even remember what I did or said. And all of a sudden, now it becomes that you changed my life, and I didn't even realize I did.
Wow, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
Wow, Coach, one of the many things that really impresses me about you and the program is despite the high turnover or transfer rate, you still have a really high graduation rate. Like, how do you get that done when there's so many players that just have their eyes, focused on like the next step for football for them?
So remember that the next step to go, they have to get an AA degree. So they have to get the degree. So that's the carrot, right? And then, so my job is to provide the resources for them, right? Which is to have a tutor every day, a counselor every day, right? A social worker here every day. Everything we can wrap around, holistically support these young people so they can reach their goal. That's the key.
Got it.
Great.
Now if we have the godfather of football on our show in you, we can at least touch on the NFL playoffs from this past weekend. I know your life has been football for a long time. Some guys don't want to sit down and watch NFL games. Do you tune in to postseason football?
I watch it when I have a player playing. So unfortunately, Shawnee was eliminated. The Cowboys were eliminated in the first round.
Don't remind me. Despite this Raiders beanie, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. So I've been miserable for a very long time.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I watch it. Obviously we all watch it for me, it's more the entertainment value of it all. But you got to imagine. I mean, we all not imagine, but we all were there watching. Was it not a great weekend of football where it all came down to either overtime or field goal at the end of the game?
Yeah.
As a fan, you can't ask for more of that. As a coach, I'd have had major heartburn on the sideline, but it was just phenomenal in the way that it was done, right? So you got a shootout with Buffalo and Kansas City. You got a great defensive battle with the Niners and the Packers, right? Cincinnati comes back in, they've been in the dumps for so long, and here all of a sudden they make it happen. Tennessee with, Henry coming back, trying to make a comeback with the injury. So you couldn't ask for more drama, but at the same time, just seeing everybody's passion on the field and to win and put it all out there. We talk about all these big salaries and everything, but at the end of the day, there's so much pride to win. You laying it out on the line. And that's what was amazing to me. And as one of the things I think here in the Bay Area, and I'm not really a Niner fan, but, you read or you hear everybody talk about, Jimmy G and Garoppolo just getting dumped on all the time. But the guy wins games.
Yeah.
The guy wins games.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, isn't that what you should be measured on? Do you win games?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Very
good point, Coach. Very good point about that. I know Jimmy G does. John, I had a long drive yesterday. I drove about 7-8 hours in the car. Boy, the people he coaches absolutely right. Jimmy G gets the job done somehow in the end, even though his this weekend's yardage, when it came out, his how many yards he's supposed to, throw for, automatically all the wise guys were betting under. I mean, they really do. They get on him so bad, but yet coach said the right words. Somehow he gets the job done. So, Coach, this is some spontaneous thing I just thought. I was driving yesterday, and I'm a sports bettor by trade. And I was thinking to myself, oh, yeah, that's what I do. I'm a gambler. I'm a sports. So is John. John is a losing sports bettor. I'm a winning sports bettor, but that doesn't matter. But
that's factual what he's saying, Coach. Completely factual, too, I'll admit.
Watching that game, though, Coach, and you're the perfect person to ask this question. Sometimes I think a coach like maybe that what happened on Sunday, where maybe they didn't squib kick, which everyone's talking about now. They should squib kick, force them to take some time off the clock out of the 13 seconds. Sometimes I think the moment gets too big. It's easy being a Monday morning quarterback, by the way. But the moment gets too big for them. They're too close to the sun, where to be honest, they need an outsider like a sports bettor brain like myself, or someone saying to them, maybe they need a guy or a special little coach for special situations and timeouts. Looking back at it now, sometimes they are. They're like almost too close to the sun to come up with a common sense thing like a squib kick. What do you think about that? Or is it or am I wrong? And it is a thought out process. So like what happened on Sunday?
In the NFL, it's thought out, right? The NFL's got so many coaches, right? So there's that guy on the sideline that just sitting there looks like he's just holding wires or something. There's a guy, and I won't mention his name, but on one of the teams that won on Sunday in overtime, not mentioning any names, a good friend of mine's son is on that staff. His job is to hold the head coach, the play caller's call sheets. That's all he does, hold the sheets, right? And then he checks off what he's called. So he doesn't, you know what I mean? That's all he does. Wow. There's another guy up there that they've already went through all the scenarios, the analytics as a bettor. You get this, right, Bill?
Oh, yeah.
So they've done, what should we do in this situation? And they practiced it. So for McDermott and them, they've already practiced it. What are we going to do on that? So he might have got cut up in the minute, said, let's just kick it out, right? Because they're afraid of this. Maybe the kicker hadn't squib kicked, because I've done it before where the squib was horrible. Like, oh, my God, what did we just do? It hit a game. The guy was supposed to kick a squib and hit the front line guy. So they got the ball in the 50 for God's sake. But that's a high school kicker, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Bill, they have a guy that tells them, they talk about every scenario. I mean, I just watched the Warriors the other day. They had a chance to win the game. All they do was foul the guy on the inbound. They didn't foul it, and the guy hits a three to put it in overtime. They lost. Steve Kerr said he made a mistake, but there's someone on that bench of all those coaches and all those suits. That's his one job, that he's got that last-minute scenario. I had a big game in high school again where I lost a timeout count, and I didn't know how much time I could burn. So after that game, we figured out how much time we could burn without, with timeouts. If they have one timeout, how much time do we need before we can take a knee? If they have two timeouts, how much time we can do. And we practiced the scenario that once we take the knee, the quarterback's like, for instance, going to run over to the sideline to give the official to sideline the ball, so that maybe they forget to stop it right away because he's got to run it back in. You know what I mean? We're going to try to play some gamemanship with it. Kind of like when Dak and those guys didn't know how to kill the ball, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the game there, and they didn't give it to the referee, and now they get it set for that last play. So if I figured it out as a high school coach and junior college coach, I know the NFL, they've got enough guys that someone's done it. But, Bill, like you said, we're all human beings. At the end of the day, it's the emotion of the game that sometimes gets the best of us.
Yeah.
Great. Wow. What a great answer.
Coach, what's your take on the overtime rule? Do you think they need to change it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, in the playoffs, right? I get it because you're not trying to be out there forever. But in the playoffs, we got to get a winner, right? The referee said at the beginning, we're playing till we get a winner. But everybody should each have a choice at it, right? If you're just going on a flip, I mean, I get it, but it is the rule that we have. And so if it is the rule that we have, then we got to play with it. But I think the rules committee should look at in the playoff situation, let both teams have an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right? And see what happens.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Coach, my last question here. So whether you watch all the games or not, you have a long list of players who have made it to the NFL and reached that pinnacle in life. Wow, really, really successful, really rewarding. So that must be really so rewarding to you to see. Talk about seeing your guys not only excel on the field, but later in life, whatever field they pursue. That must feel really cool.
Bill, I think that's awesome. I mean, I've had over, like I said, between 20 and 30 players play in the NFL. It all depends on what you consider. Do they play a game in the NFL or do they go to camp, right? If you call it they went to camp, then I've got close to 30, right? If you can't, they got to play, then that's like 20-something, right? But that's not the mark to me of total success, right? The same guys, are they good fathers, good husbands, good, whatever it is, right? Did they give something back to the community, right? And that's what I always ask for. Like, guys come back, coach, when I'm going to buy you this car, I'm going to do this. You don't have to buy me anything. I'm good. All I want you to do is give a hand up to the next guy, the next person, right? Last year, during the pandemic, the COVID was all going on. And I was talking with one of my guys. He played NFL coaches with me. Great, great young man, Derek Gardner. And we were talking about February, Black History Month, right? And they always talk about, George Washington Carver and Harriet Tubman. And I'd start talking about, you're a hero, Derek. You're a hero because you got done in the NFL. You got a degree. You got a wife and 2 kids. You're a real successful real estate. You're a hero. And I started going, and I'm going to name some more heroes. And so every day during Black History Month, I put someone up. I put, a student of mine who's a nurse now, RN, that's got a master's degree. Did another one that's a social worker, one that's a teacher, one who writes Grammy award-winning music, right? Wow. A firefighter, a police officer, right? A successful plumber, right? I mean, they're all heroes in a community that's been told that you're either going to go to jail or die by the time you get 25. So we got heroes all around us. So that's the success I'm so fired up about, right? That I see it every day. And that's why I say when I walk around this city, I feel like a millionaire, right? Because I feel like I'm a part of this giant success, right? A small part, but a part. And I think it's important, right? But yeah, I got to go with Marvell Smith when he was with the Steelers when they beat Seattle in the Super Bowl at Detroit. He brought me out. I took my two daughters. And to be honest, remember that old MasterCard commercial about it's priceless? Well, we were on the field. I was on the field hugging him, and he was hugging my daughters with the confetti coming down. I don't think you could ever ask for a better picture, you know what I mean, of a scenario of that than that happening right there. So that was awesome.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Well, Coach, this was a real treat to have you on. We recommend to everyone, watch Last Chance U if you haven't already on Netflix. And, Coach, do us a favor. If you have any plans to come to Vegas, reach out to either one of us if you need help with rooms or show tickets.
Well, I'm looking right now, and I don't want to be stereotyped, but my boy Bill here, man, it looks like you could get some things done, man. Like you might have helped put some union contracts together back in the day.
Not really, just a big teddy bear, but I'm always dressed in black, the hat.
That's what they all say.
I mean, I do have a lot of good connections, though. Yes, John and I both have really good connections in Vegas.
I'm going to be out there. Please, I worked for the Raiders for about 15, 20 years, so, I'm close to the organization, so I want to come. I just want to see the stadium. You know what
great.
I mean? Just walk through it. I don't need to see a game. I just want to walk through it, but, it's a good thing. But, hey, before we leave, you got to help me with this one, right? Because I always end up my thing the same way. All right, here we go, everybody, right? 2 claps. Ready? Thank you, guys.
Claps.
I appreciate it.
Love it.
And we're gonna go do an Orlando and Don. Let's make it happen.
Let's go. Do it. He's here in April. Come back. Well, Crack, this was a fun show. I loved talking to Coach Beam. I mean, he was really an interesting guy.
Great.
Such charisma. Before we go, I want to make a Super Bowl prediction, Crack. Okay? Even though I was wrong on my other 4 for the year. It's absolutely going to be the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to get in. I love my momentum teams, and they've got all of it right now. I believe in Mahomes. He will lead them there. And this prediction might be my heart talking because I can't bear to see San Francisco.
You're really going out on a limb. Picking the 7-point favorite this way.
Right. But the Rams will beat the Niners, and I'm going to tell you why. Because the Super Bowl's in their own house, and they're going to make it there. That's just how it works. It's just that magic, right? It's got to be the Rams in their own house. Rams versus Chiefs. Chiefs absolutely annihilate the Rams in the Super Bowl.
You can bet that. You can bet. There's something called, like, over at the Circa, they put out these. I took a picture of it yesterday. They put out these things called betting exactas. So the Chiefs to beat the Rams, as you see here, you could bet that right now at Circa. Will the Chiefs beat the Rams? And you can get plus 280. It's up top there, John.
Wow.
Plus 280. Will the Chiefs beat the Rams? Right there it is.
I love that.
You could bet that at Circa, just to let you know.
Okay. Because Chiefs to win what would Chiefs to win the Super Bowl be right now?
Well, to win the Super Bowl at plus 125. But to actually call it to beat the Rams right now before this championship week here. So
is that a silly bet? Is that a silly bet to you, or do you like there's value, right? There's a lot of value.
Yes, no's. See the yes, no's?
Yeah.
Anything with yes, no's on them is not a silly bet. So Chiefs to beat the Rams. They have Chiefs to beat the 49ers. Rams to beat the Chiefs. I mean, these are not. No, they're not. They're fun.
All right. So. Well, Crack, this was fun. I miss you in the studio, but
I'll be there. I'll be back.
Are you coming back soon?
Yeah, after the Super Bowl.
After the Super Bowl. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So let's do this again next week.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.